Hi everybody, it's Mr. Bullock, and this is chi-squared goodness of fit test. What is a chi-squared goodness of fit test? It is an inference test used to compare multiple population proportions. It determines whether a population has certain hypothesized distribution or not. What is its purpose? To compare the observed proportions of a population versus the expected proportions. This is demonstrated through chi-squared equals the summation of the observed frequencies minus the expected frequencies squared divided by expected frequencies. The null hypothesis is when the actual population proportions are equal to the hypothesized proportions. The alternative hypothesis is when the actual population proportions do not equal the hypothesized proportion. Procedure for chi-squared. Step 1. State the population and the parameter of interest. Hypothesis O. P observed equals P expected. Alternative hypothesis. At least one of these do not equal each other. Step 2. All of the values of the expected counts are greater than 1 or equal to 1, or greater than or equal to 1. In order not to proceed with caution, the sample must be an SRS. Step 3. Carry out the goodness of fit test. State whether we can accept or reject the null hypothesis in comparison to the significance test. Example, M&M colors. Observing that the proportion of blue M&Ms in this bullet candy appeared to be less than that of the other colors, Richard Cranium decided to compare the color distribution in randomly chosen bags of M&Ms to the theoretical distribution reported by M&M Consumer Affairs. The following is the theoretical distribution. For the study, he bought 3 bags of M&Ms from the local stores and counted the number of each color. The average number of each color in 3 bags was distributed as follows. Does the data provide sufficient evidence to conclude that the color distribution of M&Ms differs from that reported by M&M Consumer Affairs? Step 1. The population is the M&Ms and the parameter of interest is the distribution of the proportions of the colors of M&Ms. Null hypothesis. The color distribution of M&Ms equals the reported by M&M Consumer Affairs. Alternative hypothesis. The color distribution of M&Ms differs that reported by M&M Consumer Affairs. Step 2. It is not stated that this study was an SRS. After calculations, all the expected counts were greater than 1. We will perform a goodness of fit test and proceed with caution. Example. Step 3. Carry out the goodness of fit test. Calculate the chi-squared value. The chi-squared value is 4.091. Next, do the chi-squared CDF to find the p-value. First, press second bars, and then press number 8. Then enter 4.091 for lower, 100 for upper, and 5 for degrees of freedom. The result is 0.53639 as the p-value. Step 4. Make a conclusion based on the results and context of this problem. We have significant evidence to accept the null hypothesis and reject the alternative hypothesis. The p-value is 0.35363, which is not less than 0.05. Therefore, we cannot reject HO. At the 5% level, we can conclude that the color distribution of M&Ms does not differ from the reported by M&M Consumer Affairs.